Thank you for joining us today for the Meritorious Military Series, Veterans in GovCon, How to Do Business with SOCOM. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Kimberly Carberry, Acquisition Program Manager for Engage SOF, also known as eSOF and Vulcan at the United States Special Operations Command, where she spearheads critical initiatives that connect industry partners with the unique needs of SOF warfighters. Graduating from Bentley College with a bachelor's degree in business, Kimberly was instrumental in the Boston tech community, contributing to the success of multiple tech startups, including founding the Boston chapter of Women in Technology as its first president. And I will bring her on the stage here. She then helped modernize critical software for the United States Army and Department of Veteran Affairs before accepting an appointment as an industry fellow at SOCOM, where she supported the team during the early formation of SOFWorks. Kimberly continued to advance her education with a Master of Information Technology at Virginia Tech University. As eSOF and Vulcan Program Manager, Kimberly is focused on identifying capabilities to support the SOF enterprise and linking operators, innovators, and acquisition professionals through the process. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Carberry. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ms. Catherine. Okay, comms check. Everyone can hear me? Thumbs up. Okay, good. Hello, everyone. So Paul did a great job outlining a lot of different resources, and I think he's an amazing resource for the team. Anybody on the call, if you have questions virtually, he also sets up virtual hours as well, and/or in Tampa every week, as he stated. What I'm going to do for the next, 10, 15 minutes is talk about Engage SOF and Vulcan. So Engage SOF is now on Vulcan, and I will talk about Engage SOF and the additional functionality that you have within Vulcan. So to get started, Engage SOF is our digital front door for SOCOM for any unsolicited capabilities that you have. And I'd like to just start, I don't know if you can see the quote. I'll read it from Ms. Johnson, our acquisition executive at SOCOM. She said this on stage at SOF Week for anybody that went to SOF Week in May. Engage SOF on Vulcan is SOCOM's digital front door, connecting industry with SOF feedback to inform the rapid delivery of warfighter relevant capabilities. This streamlined approach redirects time and manpower savings into more robust assessments, enabling greater access understanding of SOF relevant capabilities. I think it just sets the stage for what we're doing with Engage SOF. And really, there are three goals. Our goal is to find capabilities that connect to our priorities, right? Our SOCOM priorities, the PEO priorities, and then find engagement opportunities from there. But number two, first time ever with Engage SOF on Vulcan now, which happened kind of around SOF Week, I would say. It was kind of the official launch of Engage SOF on Vulcan, is to provide you with feedback. And this is really the first time that you're getting thorough feedback from subject matter experts across the command. So we have our components, TSOCs, PEOs, J-codes, different directorates providing that feedback. So it does take a little while because we're going out to the right people. It's not just like a little, take a week, get quick feedback and send off a yes or no. We're trying to get thorough feedback to help you. And that's really what everybody, Ms. Johnson said on stage, 100% of every single submission that comes in will get this feedback. And that is what you're guaranteed. Part three of that, the third goal, is to find referral pathways. So after you get the feedback, if it is SOF relevant and based on the assessment, right? As Paul said, we don't really have room. SOCOM can't buy 100% of everything we see. Our budget is less than 2% of DoD overall budget. So but to find those referral pathways, and that may be an invitation to a TE, a technical experimentation event. It might be looking at a CRADA. It might be setting up a demo. So everyone is guaranteed the feedback, but then some will kind of continue on to that referral pathway. So those are our real goals, finding the connectivity and a transparent process. So Engage SOF on Vulcan, 100% transparency. Ms. Johnson can log in every day and see exactly where we are. Anybody actually in the command. So I think that's also unique and an important aspect of it. So the process for those, if you don't know, the way to get to it is vulcan-sof.com. So that's Vulcan. If you don't have an account, you'll create an account and you'll see scrolling calls. I have an example of what we have. Engage SOF as a call. We're opening up. We closed it to kind of make, I would say, get through the furlough, where you're closed. So we're giving SMEs time to kind of catch up since we were closed for a little while on the Gov side. And so our plan is to open Engage SOF back up in the next 2 weeks, I would say. So get your scout cards ready. Then you can submit into this call that I'm talking about. Once you submit to the call, we review every submission. And as I stated, we get it out to the right subject matter experts. So if it's Intel, it could go to our J2 SMEs, and it could also go over to one of our components. AI, it might go to our Chief Data Artificial Intelligence Office, and it might go to POSOF Digital Applications. So every single scout card is looked at thoroughly to decide which subject matter experts are tracking the area that aligns with your capability. And then you receive the feedback, and as I already mentioned, the capabilities that are assessed for kind of aligning up with our current or emerging SOF priorities are referred for demonstration or one of the other pathways. But if you're not at this time, one thing's change, right? And your scout card remains discoverable in the Vulcan ecosystem, which is the benefit of eSOF on Vulcan, because now it is searchable and discoverable by 15,000 government users across 1,200 different agencies. I think the slide just went out. Okay, there it is. I was looking at myself. Okay, so and important note at the bottom there, we don't decide. So Engage SOF, we're not deciding where it goes. We're working with the SMEs based on their need, interest, and capability, right? So I'm not making the call on where things go. It is truly the subject matter experts across the SOF enterprise. Next slide. Okay, so a little bit about the call. When you do go into Vulcan, once you have your account, you click on Engage SOF call. This is what you're going to see on the right-hand side. And really our goal, I can't even see, it's so tiny on my screen, but it's to accept the submissions, to assess, and kind of trying to move down that acquisition funnel. That's the goal. The ultimate goal is to get something to the warfighter. That's why we're all here, and to get you those assessments. So you submit your scout card. As Paul even mentioned, just really think of the mission, trying to be concise, how it aligns with SOF versus like generic messaging. I would say in the scout card for eSOF specifically, it's how you align with the SOF mission. That's really going to help stand out when the SMEs are reading it. We'll ask you a couple of the questions will be, how do you align with the SOF areas of interest, which is also published on SOCOM.mil. We'll also ask, how do you think you align with our S&T priority areas? It's okay if you don't know. You might say other. You might, like Brian said earlier, right? You might have something that we're not even tracking, but we want to know about it. So that's okay. You don't have to directly align. And then once submitted, as I've already mentioned, the review process, the assessment process, you will get a report attached to your scout card that is now can be seen by other government users and helps you as you're continuing down this within the ecosystem. And then what will happen once we do publish that report, any of the POCs who are listed on your scout card will get an alert to know that, okay, eSOF report was just published. So now you'll know that. So you don't have to keep checking, and you'll get an alert for that. I won't read all this. I think if you're brand new to it, I thought it might be helpful. Actually, I already stated a few of the things, starting with the SOF mission, aligning with the priority areas, and then how are you different, right? What differentiates you from what maybe they're seeing in the market, and then just some of the other, keeping it. I won't read it all, but I think some of it hopefully is helpful if you're brand new to submitting your scout card within Vulcan and eSOF. So I feel like I'm saying it over and over again, but sometimes I do think it helps. So as it comes in, the scout card comes in, it's assessed, you're getting that report kind of in between that assess experiment. And then our goal is to find technologies that can go into that demo, experimentation, the prototype, and then hopefully acquiring, right? So that's the whole goal of bringing things in. It doesn't matter. To have just impressive numbers of a bunch of submissions that sit at the top doesn't matter, but it does take time. So bear with us as we work through it, especially with the 43 days shut down. So bear with us, but note everybody is receiving feedback, but it is not taking 30 days at this point. I will just say that. It is definitely taking a little while. So SOF relevance review, that's what happens. Everybody goes through a SOF relevance review, and then the referral to demonstration, hopefully those experimentation or other acquisition pathways from there. And really, we're trying to find out what works early, fail fast early, right? Find things rather than find out 3 years down the road, and to also engage and work with companies early as well. So as we're all going after the same mission together. If you are, so you're 100% guaranteed to get that report. As I mentioned, everybody's getting that. If you are referred, or you'll see part of your report will say like referral pathway, recommended for referral pathway, and say it's a demo, this just helps you understand what's going to happen. So we will send you an email in advance to help you get prepped. We'll also send a SME, the subject matter expert, an email in advance so that they know everybody's ready for this meeting. You'll come in and present for 30 minutes, kind of a deeper dive beyond what's on your scout card, and then 10 minutes of Q&A with that subject matter expert. And then we'll have a pathway discussion. I mean, if there's an interest and we're talking about where does it, could this go somewhere, kind of an open dialogue. And then we will end the call with you, have a 10-minute closed government session on the acquisition pathway options, and wrap up some of that in a feedback that will also go back onto your scout card. So this is just showing you what happens kind of stage 2, I would say, after you get a report and once we schedule the demonstration with the subject matter experts. Okay, some Engage SOF 2025 submissions. If we're just looking at the calendar year, and honestly, it was only, it wasn't open the entire year because we did a little soft launch prior to SOF week and then officially kind of got out of the gate at SOF week. But we had unprecedented numbers. I would say we weren't expecting almost 800. And actually, this is before September. So 6 months or even, less time, 800 is a lot when we're really taking a diligent approach to read everyone, get it out to the true SMEs, get you feedback, comprehensive feedback. So the number is actually a little bit higher now, but 362 reviewed. I think we're actually at 515 reviewed. And then the reports attached, 200, we're a bit more than that now as well. But they're coming across these are submissions, showing you the submissions that we received probably from like May to September across the entire U.S. And submissions that actually can come from any internationally as well. So we're if I took a global picture, you'd see across many countries. Bottom left, you'll see all TRLs. So please submit. If it's an idea all the way to a 9, submit. This isn't a bucket of like 7 to 9 only or 3 to 5. You can see the layout on the bottom. On the middle there, it's talking about submissions by company size. A lot of smalls. The yellow is the smalls, non-traditionals, but also international, and then the large companies. And then bottom right is showing you FCL status. Who doesn't have an FCL? Some do have a TSS FCL, and some have a secret FCL. It's just some metrics that sometimes helps. And stay tuned because, as I said, the call will reopen within the next couple weeks, hopefully no more than 2 weeks. So beyond Engage SOF, I've talked about the main objective is to find relevant capabilities for SOF, right? SOF relevant. And then depending on that, where it goes, demo, experimentation, find those acquisition pathways. And once we've done that, it's important to see that ecosystem. And I have the next slide, I have a slightly larger blow up of the ecosystem, which maybe I'll just skip to there. But we also have our Five Eye partners in Vulcan. So that's also unique to do joint Five Eye partnership, collaboration, experimentation with UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, right? I mean, we're all looking at SOF relevant capabilities together. And so after you've submitted to eSOF, the Vulcan ecosystem, 15,000 Gov users, 1,200 Gov agencies. We're the yellow in the top. We're driving just focused on SOF relevancy, but we benefit if another agency finds a technology, brings it into Vulcan. Maybe we never would have found that capability. Maybe it's 2 people, a small business in Oklahoma, right? But because they found them, told them about Vulcan, got them in the system, somebody within our enterprise sitting in one of our PEOs was able to search and find their scout card. And so that's the benefit of the ecosystem. Beyond eSOF, it's SOF relevant only, as I've stated on that call, but then we're doing a lot of other things within the ecosystem. And I will go to the next slide because I'll show you some of the calls. So on the left, you see vulcan-sof.com is the URL, which we'll show you at the very end as well. But once you get in there, there are many calls. Right now, the bottom one here is Tactical X event that's put on by our PEO TIS. and it's closing, I think, Friday this week. So I would look at that. It's AI, ML, facial recognition, a lot of different technologies that they're looking for. If you have that, you definitely can just submit your scout card, or build one and submit it, or if you already have one. But just to show you some examples of others, eSOF, right? That's one of the calls. We just concluded PEO, TIS, another one for medium range, medium endurance, SUMS events for uncrewed. And then also the other two are from the international. I think we had four or five recent international calls. So there's a lot of things going in the Vulcan in terms of calls and getting after requirements, working with our Gov users. So definitely encourage you on that. I think my next slide is for those who really, this is all brand new. You haven't seen anything, eSOF, you just heard some names. If you go to SOCOM.mil, top right-hand corner, doing business, this is going to bring you to this page. So it's doing business with SOF 18L page, and you'll see Vulcan and eSOF listed, and it'll give you some information. I'm there again. Okay, so you'll see Vulcan and eSOF. And then also our TE, get right into our TEs. You can see BAAs, CRADAs, SIBRs, Small Business Office right here to engage Miss Ashley and Paul, and then SOFWorks, right, Brian Andrews. So it's all right here. I would say all the different ways to engage based on what you're doing. And let me just see the next page, next slide. Okay, and then continued engagement. Just a couple QR codes, I know people love them. I don't know if you want to get to Vulcan, eSOF page on LinkedIn, some tips, and then that doing business with us page. And that is it for me. I guess come join the table. I look forward to talking to folks at the table at the booth. And that's all I have at this point, but thank you all.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you. Always a pleasure, Kim. I did have two audience questions, if you don't mind sticking around. One of them, so this one was about scheduling meetings during SOF week. And they wanted to, specifically SOF ATNL meetings during SOF week. And I know that through SOFWorks, when you do the small business boot camps, you can use their app. If you can go in person, you can actually schedule those quick 10-minute slots with each of those PEO offices, which is super cool. So I don't know, we have the lovely Reza Bond. She mentioned that GSOF opens up registration, and as long as you're registered for SOF Week, then they have a separate way to schedule with those PEO offices. Does that sound good? Or is there some other ways that they can do it if they can't make it to SOF Week, or if they can't make it to SOFWorks events?
Miss Riza is correct. She was heavily involved in all of those one-on-ones, many late nights, I'm sure, on that. So yes, so I'm waiting on, I think we're all waiting to see. GSOF will definitely post when they have the one-on-ones, and jump at that if you have an interest, if you are going to be in Tampa. The Small Business Boot Camp, all of us, Paul, Brian, and I will all be there. So if you have one-on-ones, that's good. And then any other ways? You're saying just some one-on-ones with PEOs just out of the gate? Or I think eSOF is definitely a way to have the meeting, but are they looking, they can have a meeting anytime with Paul and Ashley, myself, but if they're looking for a PEO just off the cuff meeting, I would say probably talking to someone first to figure out how to navigate. Is that, am I clear on their question, or are they just trying to figure out if they're not going to be at SOF Week? Was that the main question?
That was just the main one for SOF Week.
Yeah. Stand by, stay tuned for SOF Week's launch. There's plenty of opportunities, I would say, with the team that you heard from today to engage any of us at any time. And then, but from just going right to a PO, you probably want to figure out the best way to get there, if that makes sense.
Excellent. This is another, just kind of two people have a similar question about trying to get, I think, stronger feedback in terms of, if maybe they perchance don't hear back from Vulcan or through the platform, what can they do? This chat is going so fast, and I'm trying to stay on the question. But basically, they just want to refine their path to commercialization. And if they're not getting the feedback, how can they go tweet, like maybe to you or to somebody else that they've submitted and they're not hearing back?
Someone just came in the room. Sorry. I'm at SOFWorks as well. Okay, so two things. eSOF, you will receive feedback, guaranteed. It is taking a while with the 43-day shutdown. There was already a backlog. Talk about letting SMEs catch up. So just be patient. If it was eSOF, you will. Other calls, you're not guaranteed to, right? You're not guaranteed to hear back from the government user. because, tell me if I'm echoing, I can hear an echo, because it is all based on a stakeholder. For instance, JSOC had a call tech interest items list, and you heard back when they wanted to engage you and put you on a CRADA, but some calls, like SUMS, we emailed people offline to say if they were invited to industry day. Some government stakeholders that are holding calls, it's almost like they're reaching out to the yeses, not the nos, right? They're not getting feedback. They're hearing back when they're getting an invitation to that down select. Our TE team, I don't know if they're giving feedback. I feel like the TE team is just saying yes or no, inviting you to the TE, but the no's aren't getting feedback on their scout card as to why they were a no. I'm really trying to encourage all the government stakeholders as I work with them on the calls. It's best practice to give feedback to everybody. We really should, because I know Trident Spectre gave feedback, but definitely email me. My email's up there somewhere in the chat. So I would love, or come to the table, and then I could take down your specific info to see if I can run down your feedback. If it's eSOF, you will, I mean, I know you're going to receive feedback. If it's open, I mean, you will get that. But if it's something else, let me run it down with the government stakeholder to see what I can find out for you.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you, Kim, for sharing your expertise today. I appreciate the, everyone's ability now to leverage eSOF and Vulcan if they haven't already. I look forward to my own demo. So thank you very much for joining us.